of people are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. You know, the stats say by 2050, 1 in 3 Americans will actually have diabetes. But here's the scariest thing about diabetes. Every year you have it, you have lost a half year of your life. So why wait till you get it to do something about it? How about we prevent ever getting it in the first place? See, in America, with our health, one of the things we do is, unlike everything else, you know, with a car, a house, we do maintenance. We take care of them. And our health, what do? We wait till it breaks. You know, why did we do a deal with the American Heart Association? It's simple. If I had 10 people in the room stand up, just 10 at random, I could tell 4 of you to sit down, and I would say this: you're lucky because in your lifetime you're not going to have a heart-related issue. The 6 of you standing up, I'm sorry, but you will. Then if I had 3 people sit down, I'm going to say, well, the good news for you is you have a heart-related issue, but it's not going to kill you. The 3 standing up, I'm sorry, but it will. Then I could have 2 more people sit down, and I could say this: you're actually going to get a second chance. The problem is you didn't pay attention, and it killed you anyway. And the person that's standing up, boom, you're dead. And the first day you found out you had a heart-related issue was the day you died. Now, there's 700 people in this room. That means 70 walking time bombs, just statistically in this room alone. 70. Why did we do a deal with the American Heart Association? Do you think anybody out there knows that right now? As they watch their numbers on their blood panels continue to go up and up and up, but they're still in the normal range, do you think they know what that means or what the future holds? See, we're giving that kind of education. This is one. 3 monkeys. What could this have to do with anything to do with corporate wellness? Well, see, scientists sometimes get money to do some really fun things, and sometimes it just makes no sense. But they did a study on a group of monkeys. On one set, they gave them a normal fat-laden monkey diet. Another one, they gave a low-fat monkey diet. On another one, they gave them a no-fat monkey diet. What's interesting is the monkeys that got the normal fat-laden monkey diet acted like monkeys. The monkeys that got the low-fat diet, guess what? They got irritable. They weren't very happy. The monkeys that got the no-fat diet, 2 of them killed each other. So here's the moral of the story. If you know somebody on a fat-free diet, watch out. All right. Got to throw in a joke every now and then. But when we talk about weight loss, you know, one of the things we talk about during our wellness programs and our teaching is this: 1 pound a week, 4 pounds a month. Now see, most people, they're sitting there and they're looking at, like I did, I had 100 pounds to lose. They're thinking, 1 pound a week, 4 pounds a month, really? Well, it took me 10 years to get there. I'm not going to change it overnight. But did you know 1 pound is the size of a softball? 4 pounds is the size of a basketball. Now, does 1 pound and 4 pounds seem a little bit more significant? Go ahead, Google it, check it. You'll find it's right, trust me. The one thing I always love is I always get checked back, the fact check on everything that I say. And that's how I found out 99.8% of soybeans. It was kind of fun. I checked everything you said. That was the only mistake. Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to take care of it. I'll make sure I correct myself. Apparently there's some farm encapsulated in some area that's basically trying to stay soybean free. But let's talk about this for a second. You heard the docs talk about this earlier. This is probably, when we talk about corporate wellness and we talk about trying to educate folks, this is probably the one area that I get the most upset. And this is when I get the most upset with doctors. And by the way, you heard Hamid Katera talk about stress. You want to talk about stress? Talk about this kind of stuff when you have a med panel that just came up and a side med panel that's coming after. Yeah, that's stress. But this is the one where I get the most upset with doctors, because here's what's happened. You get your results and they say, hey, don't worry, you're normal. You're in the normal range. What does normal mean? You know, you just heard about vitamin D. I can tell you if you're a man over 40 with a testosterone level between 300 and 1,000, you're considered normal. The 300 wouldn't make it to the wall, the 1,000 would run through the wall. 2 different guys. There's a lot of other things that are in there as well. But the most important thing is this: you have to educate yourself year over year and watch the trends. You know, my wife just had her yearly blood work done, and when she did, she came home and she was very excited because the doctor said, hey, everything's within normal range, you're good. And she goes, yeah, but you're not married to my husband. And when she brought it home, I actually looked at everything and I said, ooh, I don't like this. Because see, I actually keep those things. I watch them. And I know certain areas are going up. And when I see certain things going up, guess what? It's real simple. She may not like what I say, but we can actually take evasive action to basically stave off something that's going to happen, because in my house, we don't wait till it breaks. They get tired of me talking. Trust me, you can talk to my kids. They hate living with me. Doesn't matter where we go to eat, I can ruin your meal. Okay, does not matter. I mean, I can tell you that the CDC just came out with results that said, you know, restaurants are actually worse than fast food. There you go. Restaurants are no better. Okay, because guess why? The food all comes from the same place. Well, let's talk about this real quick. I want you to change the way you think when it comes to your blood work. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. If you're in the certain normal range, guess what? You're in the roadway. Educate yourself what that means. If you're in a little bit of high, a little bit of low, know that you're on the sidewalk. You're getting really close to that edge. If you get in the abnormal category, guess what? It's a long drop. There very well may not be a drug or a potion or a pill or something else that's going to pull you back. Does that change the way you may look at your blood results now?
Yep.
See, we do this, and when we talk to people about corporate wellness, this is the number one thing they do. They always do biometric screening. You know, you heard Dana talk about they sent their employees to the doctor. She went begrudgingly because they told her they had to. She got the results back thinking everything was going to be fine, and if everything was in normal range, usually it's a check the box. You got the results, it says normal. I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing because obviously I'm normal. But yet if she actually knew what was going on, she would have known before it got to the stage that she got to Dana that, hey, we have a bigger problem. And guess what? It's a little bit easier to correct when you're doing it on the way up rather than when it works. Everybody understand that part? Everybody getting why we have corporate wellness now? Understand why we're doing these things? So now let's go into the what and the how. This is why you came. This is why what you thought you were going to get. But ultimately it's this. We want to make sure that you know exactly how to do it the right way. And the way that you do it right is this. You always start with a why. Why are you bringing this opportunity to an RBC? Why are you bringing this opportunity to a corporate wellness program? It's because you want to change lives. Remember, we always talk about don't lead with the products. You've heard that 1,000 times. Don't lead with products, the door gets slammed in your face. The main thing is this. Don't lead with products, because that's not what this program is about. That's not what this company is about. This company is about a health and wellness revolution. We are a beacon. That little blue guy is a beacon. He is going to get recognized in this country as the health and wellness icon that people want to be a part of. That's what we're doing. So let's talk about how we do it. First, all of these wonderful definitions are in this wonderful little thing called your success planner. They tell you exactly what it is. Now here's the thing about that success planner. On Saturday, it's going to be completely different. Everybody catch that?
Yep. Yay!
And the reason why it's going to be completely different is because it's going to have a few additions to it. In fact, 32 of them. At least. Maybe more. But here's the thing. It's going to be available in your back office on Saturday. Ready for download, ready for use. And in fact, one of the things that we're going to commit to from a corporate team is we're actually also going to make these available for purchase. They come in your starter kit, but you know what? When you have somebody who's really excited about ID Life and they want to get started immediately, why do you want to wait 3 to 5 days to get their starter kit? Let's get started immediately. So we're going to make those available. Let's talk about the details. There's the details. It's pretty simple. Straightforward. Nothing there has changed. But we did make one change. And you're going to get the first comp plan reveal change of the entire weekend right here, right now. Y'all ready for that?
Yeah.
If your corporate wellness program or RBC gets 500 PQV, it qualifies as an active leg. There's your first one of many. I promise. I know. It's a lot. Okay, everybody get that one? Yeah. So let's talk about something else. These programs take time. I want everyone to hear that, because usually what happens is this: hey, I've got a corporate wellness program. I want it, here's the contract, I'm ready to go. And then 6 weeks later, 8 weeks later, guess what? The person's ready to quit the business because it still hasn't been done. The average time to implement one of these is 6 to 10 months. Why? You're dealing with corporations. You're dealing with people like I used to be, lawyers. The good news is you have one on staff. I can make changes on the fly and I can do those types of things, but ultimately it boils down to it simply takes a lot of time. And I want to be realistic about that because a lot of people I've heard over and over and over, they find something that they're really excited about and then they get frustrated because it's taken so much time. I'm telling you now, the average one is 6 to 10 months. Now here's the other thing about it. It is a symbiotic relationship between ID Life, the business, and yourself. See, ultimately what happens in a lot of cases is this. We do the negotiation and we're good. Us in the business are doing great. But the associate has checked out because they think handoff and I'm done. But ultimately, here's the deal. Who was the champion of this to begin with? Who has the relationship with the business to begin with? It takes a long time to build trust. Okay, ID Life can do a lot. We can do a lot as a corporate team, but you have to stay engaged. You have to stay involved. You have to continue to be that champion. Because ultimately what happens in this country with corporate wellness is this. If you don't have a champion for the program, somebody is going to continue to check the box to get the benefit without doing the work. If you don't believe me, ask me. I'll tell you how to get to 307 pounds and get the discounts for corporate wellness program. Because I did it. I kind of did what they told me I had to do. I drank the water. I kind of ate what they told me to, at least 2 meals out of the day. That third one and the fourth one and the fifth one, maybe not so much. Those are the snacks that follow the program. By the way, the average snack in America is now to 450 calories. Yeah, we call it the fourth meal of the day in America. Okay. All right, so example of how we add value. You know, one of the great benefits of having these programs is we get to travel around the country and talk to companies about what their biggest problems are. And this is probably their #1 problem. The emergency room and urgent care centers. And you know why? It's not because somebody just broke their leg or stuck a nail gun through their hand with an accidental push of the button. Sorry, Lisa. I did that. Hey, I finished the deck when I was done. True story. But here's what happens. And any of you that have kids know it. It's Friday afternoon. It's 6 p.m. Clinic closed at 6 p.m. Johnny just started throwing up everywhere. And guess what happened? You have to make a choice. Am I going to deal with this all weekend, or am I going to take Johnny to the urgent care or emergency room? Because ultimately in this country, here's the deal. The urgent care center is going to cost you, on average, about $150 to $200. Your insurance will take care of the rest as long as you've met your deductible. If not, it could cost you a lot more. If you go to the emergency room, the average cost is about $1,500. Could cost you more depending on where you go. But what if there was a program in place where instead of having to go to there, you could pick up the telephone, you could make a phone call. 20 minutes, you got a phone call back from a medical doctor, and that medical doctor, either through a Skype session on your computer or on the phone, listened to you and said, yeah, Johnny's in school, this is where he's in school, big stomach bug going around, and that doctor on the phone could call the local pharmacy, and you didn't have to go to the emergency room or care now. All you had to do is go to the pharmacy, pick up what you needed, and then Johnny's a lot better in about 24 hours. Would you use that?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now here's the interesting thing. About 80% of the people in this room already have it. And you don't know it. Because see, this is the issue. In this country, there's this little thing called telemedicine. And that telemedicine program that I just talked to you about is one of the largest growing industries in the country. But for the most part, it is what they call a non-use model. Non-use means this. I'm going to throw it in that package of stuff you get in your benefits, and then you take that package and you stick it in your drawer. And I'm not going to explain to you what it is, because if you use it, it's actually going to cost me more money. Because ultimately, here's the main thing. We actually decided, you know what, we're going to make a change. We're going to go out and do a deal with a company called MeMD. And MeMD is going to offer our ID Life family something that's, is just amazing.
Yay. Woohoo!
Because guess what? You can have this program for a whopping $9.95 a month. You can use it as much as you want. And here's the greatest part about it. They're here. They're ready to help you out. But ultimately, guess what? We've also embedded this within our corporate wellness programs as well.